Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. It's going to be a decent episode today. We're starting a new season with Newcastle United. So as you might have seen in my last episode, we ended on a bit of a dull note. We didn't get into that Europa League spot. We finished 14th, and throughout the season we didn't really play as well as I thought we would. But that season's over and done with now, and we're on season number 2. And the goal of this season is to get into that lucrative Champions League spot, and I think we're going to do it. I've messed around with the tactics. I've brought in some big players for big money on some of them, and then I've also got rid of a few players who I didn't think could cut the cloth, and basically chucked them out of the club and moved on with them. So in today's episode, like I say, we're going to be checking out some of the transfers I have been able to get in, new tactics, and then also we're going to be kicking the season off against Leeds United. Just a shout out for anyone who's watching this for the first time, make sure you click that subscribe button so you can keep up with this series, the second season, and also I'll leave a link on this video for you to go and check out the last series, episodes 1 to 7. Really good. Give it a watch, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or leave a comment as always. So we'll check out the transfers first, I reckon. Probably the best way to start. So as you can see, we are in who we got into the club. We got Jamie Shackleton. Now, I did sign Jamie Shackleton earlier on in the last episode, just before the end of the season, for 10 million, which I thought from Leeds was a bargain because he's only 20 and he could really become a really good player from us. Now, a player that I got really cheap was Wilfried Zaha from Crystal Palace, as you can see. Crystal Palace got relegated, and I just went in straight away. I think he was valued around 37-40 million. I went in at 35. They accepted the offer straight away. Salary was easy, got him straight away. I thought a bargain for the price it was at. I got a centre back, Luis Felipe, for 25 million from Lazio. Bearing in mind, for 25 million, when I went to get him at the beginning of last season, I think he was like 40-50 million. So another bargain for us, the third one. Then I got Harry Wilson from Liverpool on a loan fee of 150k a month. He is only young, so he could, do a few jobs for us this season, and we can rotate. So it's pretty good that we got him in on just a season, and I do think his contract's up at the end of the season. So maybe we could sign him on a permanent deal, but we'll just have to see how that goes on. So next one is I got Justin Hogma from Hoffenheim for 4.5 million. He's a centre back. He can play in defensive mid. The reason I got him, he was young and he's quite cheap, and he's an overall all right player. I mean, he's not amazing, but he's an all right player, and he has been around at a few different clubs. So he's another player that we can rotate and use. And then I did splash out a little bit more than I thought I would have, because I needed a left back. I did have, I think it was Danny Rose from Spurs on loan, and he just kept getting injured, as it in real life he does. So I thought the best place to go for is Ben Chillwell at Leicester. Linked with a few clubs in the Premier League at the moment because he is a decent left back. I got him for 52 million up front, and then with like add-ons and stuff, it rises to 65 million. So potentially a pretty good bargain if we get a good few years out of him. I stayed at Leicester for a little bit, then I also got their centre back they signed when United signed Harry Maguire for 80 million. I got him on loan for the season. Is it? If I'm saying it right, Benekovic, on loan for the season. Just see how it is, just as backup really, nothing more than that. And then, which I thought was, when I seen him for free, I thought, no, he can't be on a free, but he was. James Rodriguez, he's 29, but I mean, look at him. He's a 3.5 star player on a free from, he was at Real Madrid. So what can I mean? The guy is quality, and with the pedigree he has with winning stuff, as you can see, he's been at Porto, Monaco, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. Now he didn't only play 14 games for Real Madrid last season, so it wasn't not many, but he did score 3 goals, and before that, he was playing consistently. So we can get him playing again and get him scoring goals. would definitely be useful for us. And I got him under 100 grand a week, which I thought was good because he was on, I think it was 125 at Real Madrid, so it's pretty cheap. Then the bargains continue. I got Gabriel Barbosa for Flamingo for 21 million, and this kid is unreal. He's nearly 5 stars, and I got him for 21 million. Now, last season he didn't play a single game for Inter Milan because I think he was on loan, but I don't think it shows at the loan clubs on career status. I'm not 100% sure. But before that, obviously he was at Santos, and then obviously he was at Flamingo again, and he scored 23 goals and 18 goals at Santos. And then obviously before that he was at Santos when he was a kid, and he scored goals. So I'm hoping he could be our talisman this season and get us at least 30 goals. I'm reckoning. I'm hoping 30 goals, but we'll just have to wait and see whether he actually can do it. Then we needed a right back because Kenny Tete I bought from Lyon last season just didn't cut it. He was labelled the worst signing of the season at the end of the season award, so I thought I need to go out and get a decent left back. So I went to PSV and got Denzel Dumfries. He was linked with like Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, and I managed to beat them off and get him for 23.5 million. So my total spend at the moment is 173 million. I am in talks to get a keeper to replace Dubravka. So we're just seeing how that goes. So maybe that might create up to like 190. But for the players I've got in so far, I'm really happy. So the players been able to get out, as you can see. I've sent Sean Longstaff out on loan to PSV. That was part of the deal for Denzel Dumfries. They needed a midfielder. They were happy to take Sean Longstaff. Wasn't going to complain about that. I got rid of Emerald Crafton alone with an option to buy. Sold Isaac Hayden, 25. I got 13.25 million with him, with a 30% add-on fee, a 30% sell-on clause if they do sell him. And I also got rid of Yannick Toure, Dwight Gale, Philip Button, and Daniel Braziler to Vancouver for 1.1 million. So in total, I managed to raise funds of 30 million, but then obviously I've spent 173 million. So if I'm honest, compared to last season, I've spent a lot less. I mean, last season I spent 271 million and only brought in 82, and this season I've spent 100 million less, but managed to get in better players and a lot and not just better players, but better quality in better positions, which is always a good thing. So that's just a quick overlook at the transfers before we move on to the match. And the tactics we're going to go for today it's just a positive 4-2-3-1. So that's the reason why I signed James Rodriguez is he can play well in this centre attacking midfield role, and also we have Jack Grealish as well who can play there, and then obviously we have like James Shackleton, Calvin Phillips. We have Zaha. We're attacking. We've got quality. Then we have Ben Chillwell, Dumfries at the back, and then obviously our centre backs Luis Felipe and Jamal Lascelles. The only place we're lacking at the moment, according to my scout and according to myself as well, is goalkeeper. So I'm currently in the middle of addressing that. I'm not going to tell you who I'm after, but it is quite a big signing. So if I can pull it off for the price I want it at, I will mention it in the next video. But what we'll do is we'll get into today's video and get the season kicked off against Leeds United. Now I am doing a save with Leeds United, road to the Premier League. I'll leave a link in the description below about that. Go check it out. It's really good, and we're in that save. We're actually 10 games unbeaten at the moment. Really good save. So go check it out. I'll leave the link in the description, like I say. So I'm going to do a quick pick with this, and then I'm going to mess around with who we're going to have in there. So as you can see, we've got some major issues with Ben Pearson and Calvin Phillips. It's a bit red. It's actually quite bad. In pre-season, we've actually played really well. So I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to see what it's like for this game. I am going to change. I'm going to take off Jack Grealish and put on Deulofeu, just because I like the way they attack. I mean, that attacking in Deulofeu, Rodriguez, Zaha and Barbosa up front, that screams 100 times better than last season. Justin Calvert is out injured, and obviously a few players aren't registered yet because I've been getting rid of a few and getting a few in. But the back four picks itself, and obviously then Dubravka in net. Luis Felipe is on that international duty, and we do have Joe Linton back. He was on loan, so I am trying to get rid of him at the moment as a loan or even a sale. But I'll just have to see how that goes on. So let's kick the season off against Leeds United. I'm hoping for a win. On my other saves, I've always kicked the season off with a win. So to do it again the second season will be really good. And like I say, we are looking forward to getting that Champions League spot and also getting a run in the cups, in the FA Cup and also Carabao Cup. And I mean, if we could win the Carabao Cup and get in the Europa League, that would free us up for the Champions League to make a real push for it. But we'll see how we get on firstly, and then see if we can get to a quarter final, maybe a semi. So I'm going to tell them to go out there and give the performance we're expecting, because we should steamroll Leeds United. They've just come up, and we've just spent a hell of a money on a lot of players, but quality players that we needed. So I'm hoping we can do the business here and get a 3 points in the first game of the season. And we're just about to kick off. Yeah, so first time I've played a competitive game with this tactic I'm using, so I'm hoping to see how it actually works out and stuff, and how the players will play well together. Because pre-season, you always think, oh, they'll play well together, they should be okay, and they win games. But when it comes to actual kick-off of the season, it's totally different. It was a good little shot from Dumfries there. Yeah, but like I say, when it comes to kicking off the season, your first game with your new tactics is always a tricky one, so you always got to be careful to make sure that you're setting it up right and all your players are playing the correct positions. So we'll just see how we get on here. We're about 10 minutes in. We've had 4 shots, 3 on target, so our conversion of shots is really good. We just need to get a goal now and make it 1-0. So we'll just see how we're getting on in a few minutes. We have our first corner of the game. Delafeu's going to cross it in Nastasic, or back out. Phillips picks it up on the outside the box, pass it back in. Lascelles, Zaha, that would have been a good debut goal for Zaha. But I mean, we're cracking the shots away. They've not even had a shot on target. They've had one shot, but it went nowhere. And we've got another set piece here. Corner, Delafeu in. Oh, and what a goal! Nastasic back in the net. And I did change Delafeu to take the corners because I think we had Calvin Phillips take him, and I don't think he's better in the middle where he can pick up the ball and pass it around. And I thought Delafeu is better at crossing, so I swapped him around this season, and it's paid off straight away. We're 1-0 up at under 20 minutes, and it's our captain Nastasic who's got the first goal for our second season in the Newcastle United save, and we're sort of rolling at the moment. We've got 11 shots, 9 on target, 50-50 possession, which I'm not too bothered about because they're not really doing much with theirs. But we're hunting for goals at the moment, as you can see. We've just gone up there, 10 shots on target, 13 shots. So our conversion of shots is really good at the moment. So I'm just waiting to see. We're just coming up to half time now. 2 yellow cards. Dumfries and Phillips, and we just hit half time. It's not a bad first half. Could be better. Could do with another goal, but I'm not going to complain. They've only had 3 shots, 2 on target. We have 15 shots, 12 on target, and we're 1-0 up off a corner. Pretty good start, if I'm honest. Better start than last season. I'm just going to tell him not to guard against complacency, because I don't want us to go out there and for them to come in a counter attack and score straight away, because then it will struggle then. I want us to go back out there, get another goal, and then after that, just keep scoring and score as many as we can and push on that first season. I am going to tell him to go get a bit creative because I want to see more goals. I think this team has a lot of goals in it, especially with the attacking players like Zaha, Delafeu, Rodriguez, and Barbosa. We could definitely, easily, between them, we could get about 60 goals. And that sounds really bizarre, but I think we could, considering the amount of goals they would score on their own. If we were to get them scoring together and playing well together, we could definitely get 60 goals in one season, easily. Just worry about the defence, and in particular Dubravka, because he's not the best keeper. He wasn't last season. Maybe he might be better. I mean, if I can't get the keeper I want, we may have to invest a little bit more in the defence just to shore that up. But we'll see. We'll see where we can get him, and that'll be in the next episode. I'll let you know what keeper I get. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to check it out. I'm just going to make a sub here. I'm going to take off Ben Pearson and bring on Florian, and then I'm also going to take off James Rodriguez because he's not really done much, and I'm going to put on Jack Grealish for him, and then just leave it for that for a little while. And then I'm just going to ask him to demand more to make sure we get that second goal to kill the game off, because we're playing quite well, but I just want to see a few more goals so we can push on and get that 3 points for the start of the season, because it's always good to start the season with 3 points, regardless if you're playing Football Manager, FIFA, whatever it may be. You start the season with 3 points, you can't go wrong. It sets you up really. So we've got a cross here, Barbosa. Oh, what a goal! 2 new players, an assist and a goal. Dumfries fires it in, and then Barbosa sings it into the back of net off his head, and a really good goal. He just taps it. He doesn't really do much to it. Flies across his head, taps it in, and there's no one around him. He's got free range there to jump and just hit the ball into the back of the net off his head. But happy days, 2-0 up, first goal of the season. He's not offside, not a chance. But yeah, happy days. So we've had 22 shots, 18 on target, and 2 goals, and we're up to third in the Premier League on our first game. But nevertheless, we're playing well. And Barbosa's just picked it up outside the box. He shoots, straight at Casillas. This guy is playing quite well. I mean, for 21 million, I've got a bargain, if I'm honest. I mean, I did say that last season with Eduardo, who scored from a sign from Celtic. But Barbosa he's got pedigree. I mean, he's definitely been at some big clubs and scored goals. He could be the one player we were lacking last season, who could change games for us, especially against the big teams, because we seem to get undone, and we got beat heavy off big teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea. Arsenal and City, we got big defeats, but so far we're playing quite well, and we'll have to see whether we can do that damage against the big teams. I'm just going to tell them to demand more. We're about 5 minutes out from full time, from extra time, so we'll see how long we get on that. But we're 2-0 up. They've got a corner here. Nothing. Dubravka got the save to it. Easy save for him. I think it went over. I don't think he got touched to it. And we're just coming up to the end of the match now. So 2-0, as I say. And what a way to start the season. 2 goals, one off our centre-back, our first choice centre-back, Nastasic, captain. And then Barbosa on his debut, 69th minute, crossing from Dumfries, our new right-back from PSV, slots it home. And I knew this guy would get a goal, and I knew Nastasic would get man of the match because he played really well. 2-0. And as you can see, we're up there. I mean, last season we didn't get off to the best of starts, but this first couple of games we've got a few easier teams. So if we can get the maximum points in these first few games, it'll really set us up for that Champions League spot. So I am going to tell him I was very pleased with the performance and then hand the rest over to the assistant. And that is our first game against Leeds United, 2-0 win. I mean, I can't say any more about that. It was a really good win. As part of the deal, they received 5.25 million as part of the Ben Chillwell game because he played his first game. But I'm happy. He played well as well, Ben Chilwell, really well, and Nastasic, and all of them did really. And I only made 1 or 2 substitutions just because some of the players weren't performing as good as they should be. But as the overall majority did play well, I can't complain. So we'll just have a look at the few games that are coming up in the season. So as I said, we've got an easier run up until like maybe October, and then we start hitting some of the bigger teams. So next game we've got Bournemouth, then it's Arsenal, and obviously Carabao Cup we don't know until that is drawn. Then we've got Aston Villa, Wolves, Norwich, Swansea. Then in October we start hitting the bigger teams. So we've got Leicester, Man City, Chelsea, Burnley, then Manchester United and Liverpool. So in the next video I'll definitely do one with like Arsenal and then Wolves, because I think Wolves are a pretty good team. Definitely Arsenal, because I think that'll be a really good game for us to play and watch. And then also I'll let you know about what keeper I've been able to get into the club. If I can get him, it'll be really good. I think you'd be surprised at who I've actually got for Newcastle, which I think, if I can, it'll be a really good signing. So that's the end of today's video. If you like the video, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up and also leave a comment. And then when you finish doing that, just hit that subscribe button so you can check out the next episode. Alright, cheers guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.